So let's get that straight.
Yeah, thank you very much. That has been recurring questions concerning the MDGs vis-a-vis the SDGs. I will also extend your questions. Some of the questions we've been handling over time has always been why the MDGs were 8 goals, and not all the countries of the world, implemented and achieved the entire 8 goals. Now we came up with 17 goals. So how do you reconcile, those from 8 to 17? As she said, the MDGs did not fail. Secondly, let me also put that in. The SDGs, they are not United Nations goals. So it's not for UN to implement and to achieve them. No. The UN midwifed the Sustainable Development Goals, but they are global goals. They are goals that all the 193 countries in the world signed off, they adopted and signed off. So which means the onus of implementation is on the member states of the UN, all the 93 countries including Nigeria. Well, what the UN does is to support them in implementing, in monitoring, and in reporting the implementation. So we work with the government of Nigeria in our own case because we are in Nigeria, and the same way other UN entities in other countries are also working with the government of those countries to ensure proper implementation and achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. So the UN, for instance, at the end of this year, the UN is not going to say this is our report card. The report card for Nigeria is usually published by the government of Nigeria. However, in arriving at that conclusion, the status of the implementation, the UN has always been part of the process. We support with funding, we support with technical advice, we support even the monitoring of those goals. For every goal, we said 17, right? For every goal, there are indicators. Indicators are meant to be used for the monitoring. If we say 50, the percentage of children that die by the age of 5 is halved. That is reduced by 50% by 2030. So we will help the government. Where are we at the beginning in order to measure against the targets and the indicators? Now for the MDGs, of course Nigeria did not fail in achieving the MDGs, not completely, but of course we achieved some, we didn't achieve in some. For instance, the government of Nigeria achieved the target that has to do with ensuring gender parity in school enrollment. That is, if you look at the enrollment sheets of schools, then you discover that boys and girls, the ratio of boys and girls are almost the same. So to that extent in the MDGs, yes, Nigeria achieved that. But of course there are some other targets that are not, that the level of achievement was not that good. And the end of MDGs was not the end of that development framework. MDG is a development framework, so also the SDGs. The SDGs are meant to build on the achievement of the MDGs and to also address the pitfalls of MDGs, to also address those areas that we didn't achieve much. So the SDGs are more or less the continuation MDGs. But because it had a frame, a timeline of 15 years, which ended in December of, yes. So now we have a new framework till 2030. We have started. So that is just the situation. It's not that we completely failed, and it's not that we have a clear cut, this has ended, we are starting a new one. No, it's a continuum. We're building on what we have achieved. We are also addressing areas we didn't do well enough, to strengthen those areas. And the good thing about the Sustainable Development Goals, the current one we're having, is that there was a wide consultation, with different sectors, particularly 3 key groups: the civil society, the private sector, and the government. All of them were taken into consideration in the crafting and the writing, the drafting, and the adoption of the SDGs.